Gents, it's Tuesday and your eyes don't deceive you. And well, I guess I got to tell you, if you're listening on Spotify, the PD Skillz Show is coming to you with a live guest, one screen. There's no magic here. We got a live guest and it's on. So
on the too sweet.
Without further ado, I can't leave you hanging on the too sweet. Mixing of paying attention to the screen and all this. But yeah, without further ado, my guest, the one and only Mayor of Prince City, Aiden Prince. What's going on, brother?
Chilling, man. Chilling. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, I'm fucking glad to have you as the, first person live on this show.
I'm happy to be the guy, my friend.
I mean, both of us being from Windsor, only appropriate.
Very true, man.
I mean, bad circumstances, but Windsor's glad to have you back.
Hey, man, I appreciate it. It's good to be back, though. It's good to be back. There's a crazy story that goes with that too. So
we'll pour it on. I mean, what better place to start? What brings you home?
Well, basically, the goal was the big picture goal was to go to Ottawa and continue to kill it at C4 and keep going towards the Halifax area and doing my thing there. And then we got hit with a fucking pandemic.
Yep.
And then while I was there, shit goes down. I mean, I've been kind of sitting on the couch there. There's nowhere to train. There's nothing going on there. I had the chance to train with Stu and Uno.
Okay, yeah.
And then their school closed. So that got shut down for me. So I was just kind of sitting there bored. And that goes on for like a year. You start feeling old because you're not wrestling,
I get that.
And it was, I have a place to train here. I have, buddies here like yourself. Family. And I mean, it was just, if I was gonna move on from there or need to move on from there, I was obviously back home,
Yeah, absolutely. So you're back at Can-Am now and enjoying things there?
Yeah, man.
Obviously things are probably a little different, less people than there used to be now.
Obviously we can only have a few people in there and stuff like that, so that part of it, but one thing I will say is before I left, I had a training role at the school, and not that I didn't appreciate it. I loved that time as a trainer and teaching people and stuff like that, but one of the biggest cool things about coming back is not being a trainer, because I'm focused on myself again. Okay. So going back to the school, and I can't let the joint go though, guys. Going back to the school and focusing on myself, I've really noticed myself start to progress again pretty quick. So I'm feeling a little younger again.
Yeah. So basically, you get the chance to not focus on, because I mean, when you take pride in the role, obviously as a coach, and doing that and actually taking your pride, you actually care what's going on with them. And when you're taking your time to take care of and oversee that many people, you could throw yourself kind of at the
exactly. I was just talking to Bhupinder Singh the other day. I had the pleasure of training him a little bit, and I was so obsessed with his work and his moveset and the way he moved and everything. I stopped. Like I plan my matches and I plan spots with action figures. That's that's just what I've always done. I get it. That's just what I've always done. And like I started, I'd be like, oh, I can give this to this guy, or I can give this to this guy. So then half the shit too, I would come up for myself. And then I'd be like, hey, will you try this thing? And then I'd end up giving it to Bhupinder, or like, or giving it to a different student, which isn't bad. Yeah. Right. But it's just I wasn't focused on myself,
But now you are. And I mean, things are starting to lighten up. It looks like there are some places in Ontario that are actually doing shows. Have you got anything booked so far?
There's a few things that's been talked about, but I try not to get my hopes up, because I think it was would have been a year or whatever. I'm terrible with dates.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, like a year or so, whatever it was. I got all my bookings canceled, obviously. And there were some big ones in there. And then a few of them came back. And then they fucking got canceled all over again. So I try not to get my hopes up, but there is a few things booked, but who knows, right? So
yeah, like we had the same No Ring North show. We had to rebook like 3-4 times.
Exactly, right? Like I feel for,
and that's a private taping. Like we've actually kept it to like roughly 10 people if we can.
Yeah, like I feel bad for anybody who was running really big shows and stuff like that.
Yeah, lots of money on the table.
Yeah, lots of money on the table.
Now, one thing, like, as I was sitting down kind of thinking of things to kind of go over with you. Now, obviously, you've been interviewed about it. It's probably been beaten to death. before this pandemic came around, you had a really fucking sweet year. You faced a current WWE champion and a current Impact Wrestling champion.
Yes.
In the same year.
2, actually. I think I faced Aries and Jake in the same. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a pretty wild.
Now that's a lot of momentum. What do you do to get back in that spot, like riding that high again?
I mean, we talked a little bit before we went live there. You've obviously seen the Long Live Princey stuff, the episodes I'm putting out. For me, I put myself in a promoter's shoes, and I was thinking to myself, if I was booking Aiden Prince before this, and he was one of my top guys, when I come back, Aiden Prince was kind of the old guy. Well, we'll move him down a little bit. Let's push this guy a little bit, or let's whatever, right? So my look was, now it's time to reinvent myself. It's time to.
So you feel almost as everybody's kind of lost their stock now, and everybody's got to start from square one.
That's the way I look at it. And that's
so basically when things come back square one, they're going to move on to the new guy. I might as well be the new guy, and not the old Aiden Prince.
And even if that's not the case, I have to think that way because I know how many hungry motherfuckers there was during this.
Yeah, 100%.
And I've watched guys be hungry through this and then fall back down, and then you know what I mean. And I myself can say, like, I fell down hard, man.
I found myself, I've become hungrier than ever during this pandemic.
Yeah. At first, I was like, actually, I take that back. No, I wasn't. As soon as everything shut down, because. And I think it was just like you said, the momentum I was on, and I had a couple bigger bookings.
And you moved to be where you were to hunt the dream.
Man,
so
like there was like a whole plan. You know what I mean? There was.
So when the dream gets swept out.
Basically, I had, obviously it's no secret that I was pushing to have a contract with Impact and try to do some bigger things. You know what I mean? And I think I was close. But I can straight up say I was told, something's missing. You need something. And that really rang to me with, okay, I'm working my ass off here, and they see that, I can be a trainer, I can travel, I can promote myself, I can do these things, I can make a name for myself, but something is still missing.
Yeah.
Right? Like something is still missing. And it was like, okay, then I gotta go fucking find it. You know what I mean?
I honestly think that is an Ontario wrestling plague.
Yes.
Because we have in my opinion, a lot of people that like between those fucking, ropes are super, super amazing, talented athletes, but there's like a little thing, like there's that little part missing.
Yeah.
That kind of makes them who they are.
I totally agree. And I think that comes from, you have a lot more bigger promotions in the States. So I think guys get a little bit more of a little quick promotions here and there, whether it's TV things or whatever, they get those matches quicker. You know what I mean? Like I was blessed with Impact being over here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And me falling into those spots, but those spots are a lot easier to get to in the States because you can get to them a lot easier.
Yeah. 100%. Like right now it's like, I get so mad. Like I've been, not always, but as of late, since I've come back, I've leaned a little more towards the hardcore stuff and the deathmatch stuff, and it's so banging right now in the United States. I can't do a damn thing about it.
And that's the thing, right? Even from their end, I don't know how everything at GCW and those type of promotions are.
Like they're coming to Detroit,
right? But what I'm saying is something like an ROH or AEW or WWE. As a Canadian, if you go linger out side and try to get in and try to get your way into the help in the ring, and trying to get into the dark match and all that, it's much harder when you're Canadian because they can't legally put you on the show, you know what I mean? Like there's just it's but it's one of those things.
Someone recently was telling me like a workaround. I don't know that it's necessarily the most honest one. I mean, I'll take it off tape, but
pro wrestling, brother.
There's always a workaround. Someone's always got a carny pass.
Always got a workaround.
Yeah,
pro wrestling.
There's the A route, the B route, and the C route, which is the carny route.
Pro wrestling.
Everyone's got one.
Pro wrestling.
Now, obviously you've been training, likely playing with the figures figure out some new spots.
I have taken a new love into collecting figures again.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Now, how did you get put onto that?
Well, shout out those fucking THC kids on.
I knew it. I knew that's where
those little auctions things they were doing, man. The adrenaline, I had like putting like claim Sid Vicious.
Yeah, for me it's guys like Albright and Ricky. Yeah, those guys, I watch them collect, and I'm like, I have a hard time. Like, I'm like, fuck, they make me want to start collecting.
Yeah, man. Now. Like, I really got into the AEW toys originally because one of my favorite things as a kid was getting the full sets.
Yeah.
Right.
And
like,
now you're finally in a position where it's where like, this is new. I can start this.
You can do that. And AEW hasn't done it yet. They haven't got, like blah, blah, blah series.
Yeah.
And blah, blah, blah. Like you nowadays with WWE toys, you can't do that. You can't get everyone. There's because there's just so many different like
it's not every Walmart gets everyone.
Exactly, right? So where the AEW toys, like you can still get there's like 6 or 7 toys or whatever in a set or whatever. You're still able to collect those full.
Yeah, it's like some of them are fucking regional, like they're augmented reality games. Like, all right, Canada gets these ones,
exactly,
these
right?
ones.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna fucking mix them up.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's what got me going with that. But what were you fucking said something? I feel like we got high. We're gonna.
Oh no, just like in your spare time, like obviously you've been doing the training. You said you've been doing the collectibles. Yes. Now I know, like obviously being personal friends, you're really big into the video game aspect too. Probably one of the best guys at fucking throwing up CAWs.
Oh
that I
yeah,
know.
man. Oh yeah.
How I mean, it's been hurting me. Like I'm gonna fucking. I always say once in a while on the show, I'm like, all right, let's be marks.
Okay, fuck, I'm a mark all the time. Bro.
Do you not fucking miss new wrestling video games?
Yes. I think 22, like 2K22 and this AEW game are gonna.
I feel like one of them has to save
one of
video
them.
Game.
That's what I mean. We have 2 chances this time at least,
Because like
that's the way I look.
I can't play the current ones anymore.
That I got to that point, right? So that's what got me creating characters.
Yeah,
was I need fucking new wrestlers because I'm bored of what we have here. You know what I mean? Smoking a highlighter? What is this?
This? No, it's my vape.
Oh shit! All right.
Haven't had a cigarette in 2 years.
Really? Fucking good for you, man. Let's cheers to that one.
Oh yeah, it is.
Dude, we go way back.
I know.
They don't even know.
No, they don't.
Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, I don't mind talking about it. I've talked about it before. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows before I was a professional wrestler, I played in the fucking backyard.
Dude, you're gonna see a lot more of my backyard footage actually. In these videos.
Oh, that'll be interesting.
Yes. Shout out Steve Shilson.
Yeah.
He's been going through like old tapes.
I hope they got Lebesnik punching you in the face mid moonsault.
They probably do. They probably also have the fact that I did a swanton and nobody fucking caught me, and I landed ass first on the gravel or whatever the hell.
Actually, I do have to do a throwback to a previous episode.
Yes.
To everybody out there that doesn't catch people, you're the fucking scum of the earth. Fuck you.
I've been on the fucking the falling end of that. So yes, fuck you.
Yeah, I can't I don't understand when I see people not get caught. That's like a big pet peeve of mine. You are a professional fucking wrestler. Your only job in that moment is to be in the right range. Dude. Like when you completely miss, how does a full-grown ass person miss another full-grown ass person?
It's funny
from 6 to 7 feet away. Not acceptable.
It was one of the first BCW shows I did. I did like an acai moonsault. I remember Josh Alexander being in the match and saying, "Where do you need me to like stand?" So I like tell him, and then the match happens, and honestly, like from here to like your computer screen away, like he had to just running dive underneath me. And it's like he saved my ass, even though like it made him probably look like a goon because he had to dive. Like,
he had to dive to get hit.
Dive to save me. But like, shout out Josh Alexander for that catch because I would have landed right on my face.
There you go. You got the Canadian Strong Style T-shirt on, and
this is a Destiny T-shirt. Yeah, man. Shout out Destiny too.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now you've done some work with them, obviously, as well, right?
Yes, man, a lot. A few of my best matches were at Destiny.
Now I know there's been some changes at like the school, the actual physical building. Is there any changes to Destiny?
I mean, I don't really know.
Oh, okay.
Too much. From what I know, it's still rolling. We're still gonna do Destiny.
That's like it. Like I consider like Destiny like one of Ontario's like super indies.
Yeah, man. I was like,
there's a few of them, and that's
I was super proud of the work like at Destiny that I was able to do, and shout out George for the matches he gave me. I got to work with Tyler Bate there.
Yeah.
Alex Zane before he went to.
Have you gotten Trent Seven Yeah,
I haven't. It's gotta happen.
You gotta complete the trifecta.
It's gotta happen, bro. I mean, it possibly could if things reopen and everything. Those guys really love George, so they come to Destiny all the time just to hang out.
Yeah,
stuff, so.
and that's been kind of cool that like with the NXT UK guys that's been a thing over time.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's really cool to see those guys get like a bigger platform and stuff. I love that style. So that's that's where my jacket and everything originally came from, was just looking like a UK guy pretty much without being from there.
Yeah.
I was a huge Zack Sabre Jr. fan.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then obviously Prince Devitt was one of my biggest, influences. So he wore the same similar jacket. So that's where that came from.
Now, as far as the promotions you've worked, because I mean, obviously BCW is like, we'll call it Ontario Super Indie when it runs. And then like, because I mean, Scott obviously tied up with Impact, which is fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
And then we've got Destiny, and then I'd say I'd put Smash on that board as well. That's another big one. Like, what are some of the which ones between Ontario or Canada as a whole in the States have you like enjoyed working at?
Destiny was obviously always amazing, but I mean, I think, and you'll understand this being from this city and going to BCW shows when we were kids. And helping with the ring and
seeing how the production works.
Alan trying to sell his tickets all the time.
It's
like, do we just know?
No, Alan, I'm not buying tickets. I'm setting up the ring.
Yeah, we're setting up the ring, bro. Like, get out of here.
Yeah, we're gonna come in. We're gonna grab a couple beams, and then we're gonna sit in the corner.
We know what we're doing to get into the show.
Sit in the corner. And we're fucking bums.
Yeah. But like I was saying, I mean, it was super special to do these big Impact Windsor shows.
Yeah, that's obviously,
and to get the reaction from Windsor like I have.
Absolutely. Shout out to the Windsor wrestling community.
Yes, shout out to
Stefan and the gang.
Stefan, Mike Knight, those guys, dude. Honestly, that group is literally what created my rise of any kind of.
Mike Knight actually hooked us up with the location that we're filming for the next No Ring North.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. Shout out Mike Knight. He's been trying. I've been saying I'm gonna go chill with those guys, and I just get busy or I'm all over the place.
To go like watch one of the death match nights. Tell me. I'll go with you.
Yeah, we're coming. All right, sweet. Yeah.
Because it's like I know the guys from like the message board, but I don't know them like totally.
Well, dude, and I just like I appreciate everything they've done for me so much. Like they're
they've shown you mad love.
Dude, like, they like it takes, and you know this from being
one of my buddies that like I hang out with that is a member that wasn't like a group in our original circle of friends. Like he'll hit me with he'd hit me with, yeah, man, Aiden Prince is my favorite local wrestler. And I'm like, I'm literally one of your best fucking friends. Like, fuck you.
What the fuck, bro?
He's like, oh, but like I don't consider you like a wrestler. I'm like, that's even fucking worse. He's like, I don't mean it like that. Like, motherfucker.
It's fun. I got my friends that kind of look at me the same way too, though. So it's but everybody still remembers, crazy little me sometimes.
Yeah. Well, fuck, we both used to at the same time do cell phones and professional wrestling. Man. So like that was a big contrast for like people who see you in your everyday life don't understand it.
That would happen all the time.
Yeah.
Just Windsor being such a big wrestling community, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get the people that would see me at the mall. So.
But you had a couple, there's a couple guys that have worked at the stores that you've worked at that are in the Windsor wrestling community. Yeah, dude, so things come full circle. So it's kind of funny because at one point you were probably working with them and they were probably like, this guy's blowing fucking smoke out his ass.
Yeah, dude,
then they're sitting third or fourth row and they're like,
yeah,
I fucking work with.
Has that happened? Have you ever got that? Like someone will like be randomly at a show and like you've known them from like the past or something. And then they're like they'll like.
Yeah, I was fucking smoking a joint, intermission outside a show, and DJ, a guy that was a DJ for a rave I had went to, all fucked up, talking to him about like everything because that's what you do at raves, and mentioned the professional wrestling thing, and he actually was in Hamilton where his club was, the club he was performing at. So we just happened to be, I had wrestling in Hamilton in a couple of weeks. I told him about it, and sure enough, this motherfucker shows up at intermission and he's like, oh man, you're the guy from the club. Like, shit.
See, that's crazy, bro. For me, it was one funny one was a guy, I had the postcards from the BCW shows.
Yeah.
And he says to me, you look like the guy on the poster. I'm like, that is me. And he's like, good one, man. You do look like him. No, I'm like, no, it's me, man. Sure enough, he went to the show.
Yeah.
And then he comes up to the merch table louder. He's like, it was you.
Even better like than like a person I've known or like just like a coworker or something for me was my uncle. Like, because I'd talk about doing my pro wrestling and that, like at like family events. Because when people ask you what you're up to, if that's my fucking life, that's what I'm up to. Right. Sorry, you're gonna hear about pro wrestling.
Yeah, that's pretty much me too. Yeah.
And my uncle comes up to me one time and he's having a smoke with me outside, and he's like, "I gotta tell you something." He's like, "I heard all you talking about all this professional wrestling stuff, and I won't lie. I thought you were full of shit." And then the other day, I'm on Facebook. And I see a picture of you wrestling Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Oh, God.
And I felt so bad because all this time I thought you were full of shit. And here you are.
Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you now.
Yeah. Fair.
Tell me about planning a match with Greg the Hammer Valentine.
You don't.
Was it like a we'll see you out there, kid?
Yeah, like there's a couple things like we're gonna get this in, and he, we give each other a couple ideas. But really, we just went out there and did it. And I mean, you've asked the question, one of the things with him, like he did like a podcast, well, not podcast, I think it might have even been radio the night before or whatever at the time. And he had mentioned how he likes to drop like stiff elbows on greenhorns, like right across the nose. And sure enough, this motherfucker starts doing it to me. And I told myself the night before, I'm like, if he bullies you, you fucking send him a receipt.
Oh no.
So sure enough, I get up.
Gave Greg the Hammer Valentine a receipt.
Yeah, I potatoed Greg the Hammer Valentine
no.
on purpose.
Oh no.
The rest of the match was beautiful. It was great. Worked like a charm. He had nice things to say.
Where was that for? Was that CCW?
Yeah, when it was PWX.
Yeah, okay. PWX.
Dude, no, like a lot of the old school guys, a lot of people think like you gotta be super like, well, I mean, you do have to be super respectful, but I mean, don't overdo it in the ring. Like,
no, my look at that is they know that you're doing that, and then you end up getting the fucking elbows across the schnoz, like more because you're acting a little too fucking, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, and they don't want to sell for shit that looks soft either.
Right.
When I work,
they don't want to do too much either, you know.
Well, no, some of them like Barbarian. I did a fucking no holds barred with him.
Something tells me he can still go.
Yeah, I did a no holds barred match with him, and like tables, chairs, like the whole nine. And he comes up and he's like, "So like, what do you want to do tonight?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, like they've got a finish for us. Like they want to do a table, but I mean, other than that, I mean, we can fight." And he looked at me like not like surprised, good,
right?
Like, what? I'm like, yeah, you can call it, like, no problem. And we went out there, and like when I hit him,
Yeah.
And he actually said to Jay, he was like, I like him, like he hit me like a man, and he was respectful,
right.
And he actually asked to work me the next night again. Like that didn't happen. He had to work, He had to work rec. Sorry, dog.
Rec.
Yeah.
He was wore jean shorts, right?
He did when he did this stuff with Cody Diener. He went from being my tag partner in PWX/CCW to Cody Diener.
There was a guy I wrestled twice. He had like a shaved head.
Yeah. And
like, I think he wore like a singlet type thing with like jean shorts.
Yeah. It was probably him.
Dude, I love that guy. Love that guy.
He's my former tag partner.
Really? Yeah. I had 2 matches with him, and they were always super easy and just super fun. Yeah, I remember. Like CCW.
Now I gotta wonder if it's the same guy. I wonder if it's the same guy.
I'll show you the match. I know one of the matches because I kick him right in the jaw. It's on YouTube, I think. But I feel like it was him because I remember hearing the name Wreck and being like, "Oh God."
Yeah, it was actually funny. Me and him were to put in a tag team together, and then I come to find because he was from St. Thomas, and a lot of my ex-wife's family was from St. Thomas, and it turns out that like her family, like I guess, had beef with his family. So I'm like, oh my God, me and him are like a Romeo and Juliet tag team.
Yeah,
family beef thing, runs years deep.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
but I think that might be him because I remember the name and then seeing him and being like, "You don't look like a wreck, bro." Like I was kind of like,
I wonder if it. Like, I wonder which guy. If it is like, because I mean, most nights when Jay would bring in a legend, they'd wrestle like me one night and him the other night because we were the same easy
I used
match.
to love
like,
just hanging out watching the Bushwhacker Luke matches.
he's so awesome.
I love that man. He's a great man, right there.
There was like, I can't remember. It was at a one of Bill Scullion's Stranglehold shows that Bushwhacker Luke was on.
Bill Scullion. That motherfucker. Amazing guy. He's the nicest guy ever. One time he's like, anybody in the locker room got a buster? So I'm like, yeah, man, give him my buster, right? He'll laugh, but he was to hear this anyways. Fucking, he loves those tobacco joints.
I know.
Right? He fucking, I'm not really paying attention.
Yeah.
He puts tobacco in my buster.
Yep.
And mixes her up. I don't think anything. I would always keep a little bit of weed in the bottom of my buster, you know? So like I'm in the fucking car after, I can pack on, light it. Bro, that shit hit me. They all, like
you just had your first taste of Scarborough.
Oh my god, bro. Like a cigarette slash, like
that's the Scarborough Marlboro.
The Scarborough Marlboro from fucking Bill Scullion.
Yeah.
Take my ass.
Yeah, it's no.
That was funny.
Because he lived in Windsor for a while.
Okay.
When he was managing So Sick Social Club.
Okay, who was in that?
So Sick Social Club was like a rap / rock group.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a wrestling team.
No, and I ran like I wasn't even. It's when I had one of my off stints from wrestling.
Okay.
And I had actually ran into Scullion at a bar. I'd never worked for him before then. I ran into him at a bar that I was rapping at with Academy, and told him about my wrestling stuff and who I was. And he told me he had just moved to Windsor and all this shit. And like, I ended up hanging out with him then, so that's how I know all this. As soon as you said you gave him your buster, I was like, "It's gonna be tobacco." I knew it was.
And
coming.
I was super green at the time, so he was
like me and him would smoke separate joints. Like, cause we used to travel to like XICW together. It was always him and I.
Man, you know, I never worked for them. That's
no,
crazy, eh? Yeah. When the borders open, I want to make sure I get across.
Yeah.
As soon as I can.
Yeah. Like if the borders open by Thanksgiving, Malcolm, like have us over.
Me and
I miss your family's cooking. I miss the gang. I don't even care if it's like, you know, like one of the Proving Ground shows. Let me come back and prove that Canada throws it down. Instead of rookies proving themselves, it'll be the country. I know you don't think that people could get over the border anymore, but we could do it.
We do our best.
Yeah, well, we could try. Well, that's what he had said to me. Like, 'cause I was hitting him up for work, and he's like, "Man, like, I'd love to help you out. Like, I'm nervous about this border stuff, though."
Yeah, man, it's a bitch.
Yeah, because like I got no problem reaching out to Malcolm, like, because he's always been dope to me. Like, I was there for a short amount of time. He put me in a tag match with Axel, so I was like, "Fuck, that's some cool trust." And then Scullion threw a fucking bucket of bleach water at Axel. Didn't know it was bleach water. It was just, you know,
it's just like on the deal,
on the fly, and he threw the bucket of water at him.
That was that water. like I said, that one Death Proof show I did, man. Shit got pretty wild there, it seemed.
Yeah. Well, now we do actually. Warhead had just posted the other, like, because they just did taping that I passed on the last taping, but they like had it was someone's birthday bash as the show's theme.
Okay.
And there's pictures online of him with like cake smashed in his face, and he's like, it's a total opposite from Death Proof. Everybody was always all fucked up on something. Right. Death Proof, he's like, at No Ring North, like, we're sitting here with fucking birthday cake and jammers. Kid shit.
Yeah, man, that was a fun show.
But like when I'm driving like 5 hours in the middle of nowhere, it's not like I'm getting shit faced anyways.
Right. Hell yeah. Yeah, it's not like there's anywhere to. It's not like show times, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, things probably looking like I think they look like they'll open up to us maybe by end of summer.
Yeah.
Do you see shows like banging off full of people like because I think we're in a position where I think we're gonna miss on a lot of the outdoor stuff.
Yeah.
A few people seem like they're running outdoor stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like people are definitely getting ready. Like I said, you know, like people are hitting me up and stuff. I try not to get my hopes up just because we don't know what they're gonna do, right? But
and I'd figure like now, do you still do graphics?
Yes. So that will be nice too when wrestling opens up, because the majority of my work is wrestling posters, right?
Yeah, and that's what I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
I'm like, I figured if anyone knows if wrestling's back getting ready, like, you're one of the guys.
So I'm definitely getting hit up to make stuff. It's just all pending stuff, right? So it's kind of stuff is getting started, and you know, it'll chill there until they're ready for it, basically.
Yeah.
And I'll probably have to do a lot of revisions on dates.
Yeah, I've got someone from like New Brunswick possibly hitting me up for a belt design. So I'm like, oh, there's gear spinning somewhere.
People are getting ready, man. Yeah. Anybody I've reached out to get my new gear made is definitely packed up too. So everybody's coming back fresh, you know.
Yeah, I have actually I saw Josh out, like, because I know that Josh Alexander usually gets his boots from RD Boots, but I know RD, like, I mean, it was documented and stuff that RD was like laid up, he had some surgeries.
Yeah,
and all that.
man. Yeah.
And then I saw Josh Alexander selling a pair of his boots, not like his RD boots, but the ones he's been wearing recently.
Okay.
And my eyes lit up because, like, I had contacted Ron for boots and he let me know what was going on with them. I was like, well, shit, if Josh is selling his boots, that must be mean the fucking man is back up and running.
Right.
So I fucking messaged Josh and I'm like, yo, are you selling your boots because Ron's back in business? He's like, sadly not. I'm like, oh, okay. Shit. Yeah, a lot. Like, I've reached out to a few people for gear, but I mean, actually, I just worked a show with someone who does gear, the Gimmick Apparel guy there.
Okay.
Jason Chase.
Okay, cool.
I've seen a few of his things. He does some good work. So
sweet. Yeah, there's a guy out of Mississauga. Was a battle arts student. He has some really good stuff. It's like his name's Sway Archer. He's really good.
Oh,
really good. So he's gonna make my new stuff, but he's booked up until the end of August or something like that. So
holy fuck.
Yeah, dude. So I'm like, shit.
Getting wrestling gear made is like getting a tattoo done.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So my plan is probably.
So I get lucky. I just get MMA shirts and then get them fucking pressed. And
yeah. See, well, I'm pretty lucky too because I like plain
yeah,
shit.
You do. Yeah.
So like, I mean, I can grab all black tights or whatever pretty easy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Shit, you could fucking order a bulk order of different color tights and just get a custom patch and be like, bam.
Just move it. It's funny. I did when I did Rebellion in Toronto. I needed a logo or something on my tights. They wanted like something, just not my black plain stuff. So I went and I got my Prince City logo put on the back of them quick, like through a printing place. Dude, I'm so grateful that it didn't show on TV, but like by the end of the match, like it's just hanging off.
It's just terrible.
Hanging off the back of my tights, and it's pay-per-view. So I'm like freaking the fuck out after because I get to the back and I like take my stuff off and I look at the letters and they're just falling off. I'm like, I didn't notice until I got to the back. So I'm like, I just remember waiting to like get home and watch it. So I'm like, please don't, like, you know. But they probably knew or something, or they seen it because like. You don't see my tights once. Like they managed to keep it out pretty good.
Now with your new video series, like you said, you know, you got the Print City stuff put on. Yeah. Is the Print City stuff sort of gonna fade away to the background, you think?
So it's funny because this thing is, I don't even really know what direction it's going. You know what I mean? So you asked before, like before we started recording, how much do I want to say? And I said, you know, I'm going to be an open book about it. I don't really know where the videos are going. And I think that's kind of the coolest part about it is I'm trying to blur the lines between my wrestling life and my real life. Because it's like, there's really no way to explain these videos. And that's like, to me personally, that's what's the coolest thing about it is everyone is going to be different. So you're going to see violence. You'll see the soft side of it. You'll see the real life side of me. You'll see, you know what I mean? And then to me, the mystique of it is it a shoot or isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm going to say a lot of shit. And is it a shoot or is it?
Yeah. And I mean, like being a personal friend when I haven't talked to you in a while, and these are the first videos I see, even with me, I'm like, because like you said yourself, like when you're like I found there's that part of me missing. I'm like, man, is my boy okay, or is he just finding the missing link here? I'm like so, and
a lot of it is lately I've been going back to where I started in wrestling.
Okay.
And I don't just mean, I think when I went pro and everything like that, I got this ego. And I think a lot of pro wrestlers do. I had this ego.
100%.
That backyard was terrible. And backyard was, you know, those kids playing in the yard.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
But I mean,
but
that's
for me,
exactly
that's exactly what it is. But for me personally, those times were as influential in my life
Mhm.
as anything I've ever done.
It's
You know
it's
what I
one of
mean?
the first places you learn to trust somebody
You know what I mean?
with your
That's
fucking life.
and if you go back and you'll see in my videos and stuff moving forward, you know, if you go back to me at that time, a lot of what you see in me now
Mhm.
came from those days. It didn't even come from what I learned in the wrestling school. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? So that part of my life was a very special time. And I think going back to watching those, I see this different person a little bit. I see a kid that had like a lot of confidence.
And
I
a
did
lot of
not-
hunger.
Yeah, a lot of hunger. I didn't give a fuck what I
mean,
said.
you wouldn't know it
Even
now,
though,
but
yeah.
you were honestly one of the runs to the litter back then.
Yeah, and bro, and you know what I mean?
So you
like,
pushed.
I got fucking, like, I'll say it right now, man, bullied to shit
Mm-hmm.
by a lot of motherfuckers, man.
Well, shit, I said to Brian Lebesnik, you know, punching your mid moonsault. That
Yeah.
wasn't planned. Like,
Yeah.
that's a fuck thing to
Yeah,
do.
and that was the least of it, you know? Dudes used to run in the ring and hit me with their fucking finishers after the match and fucking dumb shit like that, which it's just all kids playing around. It wasn't even whatever. But I did start at the fucking bottom of that shit. I did, you know what I mean? And I slowly worked my way up over the years in our little backyard thing.
Yeah.
And did become one of the coolest ones in the shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then when I went pro, like I said, you kind of look at that life like
you almost hide it. I remember.
Yeah, I
remember when I first started and some of the guys would start posting old throwback videos and I'd be like, yo, please don't tag me.
Yeah, you'd get heat for
don't
that.
tag
Right?
me or take something out.
Totally.
Like,
I look back on it and like I get pissed sometimes because I went through my entire Facebook and untagged everything.
I'd say this is one of the few things, like if I had to say one good thing's come out of the pandemic, it has made a lot of shit fly that didn't fly before.
Oh yeah.
And look, but and not just the pandemic, companies like GCW, they just did Backyard Wrestling 3, was it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it's become, yo, why the fuck are you like hating on?
And then even
like
shout out to shout out to Vertigo and the guys that are doing fucking the Backyard Pro thing. Like, that's awesome. Like, you know, it's become part of the culture almost.
Yeah, man. Like that's what I mean. It's just like, it's like somebody finally fucking woke up and said like, yo, stop being so fucking serious. You know what I mean? Or like calm the fuck down, man. Like it was just like that type of situation. So it's for me throughout the pandemic and making these videos, going through this old footage and stuff has brought that old me out a little bit.
Yeah.
The one that wanted to talk his shit and not give a fuck what anybody was said, or I wanted to jump off of whatever or fucking do whatever or whatever. And right before the pandemic, I started to be that way. I'm known for going to the venue and going like this. What can I jump off of?
Yeah.
That's literally my every single time. Everybody laughs at me because they'll look over and I'm literally like head bobbing. Where the fuck can I jump off of?
I know I used to do that when we were younger. I don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Well, it's that.
Although I was pissed at myself because in my last match, I was going to do a moonsault off the hood of a car. And I just forgot to do the spot, like to mix it in.
Bro, I was supposed to be in that cage show in Windsor. It was supposed to be lockdown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. I was jumping off that fucking cage, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I was gonna. If I would have had the chance.
That's fuck. I still to this day that being from Windsor, the city that lockdown was supposed to be in.
Yeah.
The highest level of fucking irony available.
Yeah, really weird. Really
the weird, lockdown, like I feel like because all kinds of lockdown memes came out at that time.
Yeah.
But like if you lived in Windsor, it hit harder.
Yeah, dude, it was really weird. Yeah.
Like you supposed to be on the show. Me, nothing to do with it, but I mean I've lived in the city my whole life. Obviously, I'm gonna check something like that magnitude.
I don't know if I can say this, but yeah, we had sold probably the most tickets we had ever sold for a PC
yeah.
show. So
it was fucking all cage match pay-per-view. Some people say it's overkill. But some people say that those are overkill, but I think like
I think it's how you do it, right?
Yeah, it's how you do it, and like it's not overkill if you're in the live crowd. You're like, holy shit, I just watched a whole cage match.
Exactly. It was like fucking UFC would be an entire cage. Right?
Yeah. Like, even like there's now like what is it? ICW No Holds Barred. They do the cage.
Right. Stuff like that. Right. It's the same.
And that's somewhere I'd like to go. Just the cage, like the cage style fucking.
I want to go to GCW. That's probably my biggest goal after this is GCW.
Yeah, go knock down their door in fucking September if the borders are open.
Yeah, man. The second borders are open, I'm gonna go hang out there for sure. Just like it's got to happen. That's just like I think I would fit in well there. You know.
Well, that's the thing is like they're fucking all style.
Yeah, so I got really taught like when I wrestled Zane, we talked about it.
Yeah,
it was like, yeah, man, that'd be a fun spot for sure.
Well, there you go. Hopefully, there's some things to look forward to once we get open up.
Yeah, man.
So I know you told me how you were going to deliver them earlier.
Yeah.
Where do we find Aiden Prince at online?
It's funny. I even made the joke before this. Some of my socials are the Aiden Prince. Some of them are Aiden Prince. But as I said to him, socials work by you go to Google, you type Aiden Prince. First, you're going to see a dancing child. Then you put Aiden Prince Wrestling. You'll find all of my socials, all of my videos and everything I got going on.
And there you go.
There it is.
And well, myself, as usual, you guys can find me at PD Skillz Show, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all the fucking same. Yep. Snatched them all up at the same time.
Good man, smart.
Yeah, I'm surprised another like a rapper didn't take it because they're out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, I do want to thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Glad to have you as the first person in person.
Yeah, man.
Cool. Until next time, guys. I mean, look at the bottom of the screen. Get my beautiful shirts. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. If you're on YouTube, put that green heart off. You're on Spotify. And until next time, this is Aiden Prince. I'm PD Skillz. Cheers. You're not, for the better. And see you next week, guys. Peace.